Oh. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. All right. In the last session, we saw the opening chapter of Bhagavad-Gita. The first chapter is known as Arjuna's grief. That is called Arjuna Vishada Yoga. I quickly go through the slides, which we did not see the slides. We discussed on some of the points in the slides. The background story is ruling king was blind and his sons were dishonest. The ruling king was known as Dhritarashtra, and he belongs to the dynasty known as Kuru. Therefore, all his sons were known as Kauravas. Dhritarashtra was a blind king, the foremost or the first among the three brothers, two brothers actually, Dhritarashtra and Pandu. And so they claimed their cousin's kingdom by cheating them in a chess game and sent them away for 13 years. The Pandavas were also ruling a part of the kingdom, but they were cheated and then they were sent away for 13 years. And in these five cousin brothers were Yudhishthira, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, and Sahadev. Upon returning after 13 years, the cousins were denied their kingdom, so they declared war. Krishna was helping them in all their ordeals, even during their 13 years of away from the city, the kingdom. Arjuna was born warrior and he excelled in archery, and his charioteer at the war was Krishna. So why Arjuna had a grief? So in this chapter 1 of Bhagavad Gita, we see that Arjuna wanted to see who are all the people whom he is going to fight with. Therefore, he had asked Krishna, his charioteer, to put the chariot right in middle of both the fighting army. The war has not yet begun, and he asked to place it so that he can see both sides. It so happened when he saw his own relatives standing to fight against each other for kingdom or wealth, he suddenly went into a state of remorse and started doubting the purpose of the war. Why should we sacrifice our relationship for wealth? When we kill each other, the traditions and cultures will be destroyed. On destruction of tradition and culture, society will go astray, become evil, and all women will become corrupt, takes to wrong ways of living. When women go astray, the social system will be muddled, prescribed duties get destroyed, and when duties are not properly performed, hell will be the result for everyone. In this context, I have to tell you about a few things. Talking about the Yuga or time period, which is known as Dwapara Yuga. The Hindu calendar is not for few days or few years or few decades or few centuries. It's for few millions of years. They have calculated the time. What would be the living conditions and the thought pattern in the minds of the people at some point of time, and how it over a period of time gets degenerated to the state where we are right now. So the first yuga or time period, according to the Hindu calendar, is known as Satya Yuga. The Satya Yuga is where people were very focused on Satyam or truth in all aspects. That means people should be speaking truth and nothing else. And speaking anything other than the truth is considered as a greatest sin. Now the challenge is to all of us, just for the sake of your own, personal growth, just to stay one day without telling anything that is other than the truth. And try how, you find it how hard it is. One may say, I will go into silence. And there's no problem then. I don't need to tell a lie. So that is only one aspect of it. The second thing is being honest to what you believe in. That is also Satyam. Sadachar. I believe in these things and I will not be dishonest to what I believe. That is also, so you don't need to speak, even if you don't speak, but are you abiding by what you believe as right and not deviating from that at all? And if you are able to succeed it, well and good, congratulations. Then extend it to the second day and see, third day and see. This is exactly what Gandhiji tried. My experiments with truth. He said, my whole life was consumed. I fell many times. I failed many times myself, and not to blame anybody. To my own personal growth, I wanted to see whether I have the capacity or ability to remain truthful to what I have come to know as right, and to follow that, and speak only that, and not to deviate even in thought. Forget about action. Even in thought, speech, and action, I will not deviate from what I understand as the right thing to do. So, in the age which they probably had conceived as the most advanced stage of living is Satya Yuga, where people have become so aware of what is right thing to do. So imagine the culture. It is not a brute culture that we live in. In fact, now we are brutes. At those times, they were so lofty, so idealistic, so to say, and so honest to themselves. The culture was so refined. And that is second aspect of it. There is one is not speaking anything other than the truth. And second is not deviating from what one has believed as true. And third is what is prescribed in the Vedas as the duty of an individual, abiding and doing that honestly, not deviating from one's own duties, not postponing it, not running away from it, not forsaking it, escaping it. No, this is my duty and I am responsible to complete that. And cheerfully, not grievingly, not half-heartedly, quarter-heartedly, full. 100% I am here to do that. Again, it may be difficult for us to even understand what the Vedas expect us to do, but at least what we have taken as our responsibility without compromising it, doing it. So, Satya Yuga is said to be the most productive and most cultured state of living, which is said to be the first stage of the growth. And first stage of growth, what I mean is the highest, topmost of the integrity, honesty, and being truthful to what one is to follow, all those things. So now, if we say that is the state of first yuga, slowly, what crept into the system or into the minds of the people was about doing things, but keeping one's own interest first in mind. Doing things honestly only, but keeping one's interest first. This is where Treta Yuga came in. The story of Ramayana came there. Rama's avatar took place in the Treta Yuga, which is the second in the calendar years, second stage. People have already started getting degenerated about telling the truth, all right, but when necessary. And not that they were telling untruth, no. They were living by their promises, all right, but not necessarily as the foremost quality. That is when Ravana, even though in spite of he being a great worshipper of Lord Shiva, he did not even think second time about stealing away Sita. So that shows there are elements of dishonesty, elements of selfishness, and all those things have already crept in the mind of the people. And then Sri Rama as an avatar, as Vishnu's avatar, had to come and re-establish it. No, this is not right. I will not go into so many details. He wanted to make sure that his father's promise is kept, because he felt that if the promise of the father is not kept, it is sin. It is not right. In today's world, we don't even think like that. I said something, doesn't matter. If I don't do it, doesn't matter. It matters a lot. And you should know how many people are affected if you have said something and not doing it. We don't have that sensitivity. So the second stage is where the dishonesty has come in, but not as vehemently as we see today. So the war between Ram and Ravan was not about Ram felt bad about his wife being kidnapped, etc. No, he wanted to make sure that adharma should not stay. Adharma should not be encouraged. Doing wrong thing is to be punished, which is not something which we accommodate in the system. Oh, it's okay, chalega. Once in a while you do it. No, not at all. Not allowed. So now comes the stage where Krishna appeared. That is the Dwapara Yuga, where cheating and looting and taking away somebody's property, telling lie, even though wrong, but more seen among the people. The focus is kama, passion. Passion, personal desires to be fulfilled, personal name and fame, gratification, greed, all those things have crept in by the time. So Krishna, as a Vishnu's avatar, had to come again, dharma samsthapanarthaya. He clearly says, I am here to again put my foot down on making sure that dharma is maintained, which includes Satyam. What is said in the Vedas and duties to be performed not telling a lie, and not going with dishonest ways to acquire things, which Kauravas have done, and therefore it is subject to be punished. Now, if you have that background, it's very important. While why I am coming to this, you will understand. In the case of Arjuna, here, when he saw the people, both sides, are none other than his own relatives, his own grandfather, his own teacher. Drona was in the side of Duryodhana, or the Kauravas. And his grandfather, who brought him up all the way, they were there. And his uncles, his relatives. And this side, his own sons, his own grandsons. Do you know, when Arjuna was in the warfield, what was his age? 75. And Krishna's age is supposed to be 120 at that time. People lived longer than what you think of today. So he had a grandson sitting in the war, standing in the war. So his sons were there, his grandsons were there, and his relatives, uncles, all sort of people. So he said, if war is important, what is the purpose of the war? If it is for wealth, power, position, kingdom, and for that sake, if I have to kill my own people, I don't think it is dharma. Have I become so greedy that I need to kill my own people for the wealth? Do you think that I will enjoy the wealth in the blood of all others, in the absence of all these people? For whom is the kingdom? Number one. Number two, as we see, when we kill each other, what is first of all compromised is the culture and tradition. For people who are to maintain the culture and tradition, the society, the community will be perished. And what kind of precedence I'm setting forth here? I am the king, doesn't matter whoever is there, alive or not. I want to prove that I am more powerful than anybody else. And understand, even today, the culture and tradition of a society is mainly maintained by the women of the society, wherever you go. Because they are the people who are sensitive to bring the community together. Men go out for procuring, the wealth and the maintenance of the family. But who is the one who is maintaining the connection, the relationship with the parents, with the children, with the relatives, with the brothers and sisters? And so therefore, if you see, many of the celebrations are being performed by women of the society. So when the men in the community are killed, most of them, women will not have many people to marry. And so therefore they go astray. Two women marrying the same man, or two or more people marrying the same man. And then there's a lot of intermixture takes place. So he is already thinking about it. On destruction of the tradition and culture, society will go corrupt and then become evil, and all women will become corrupt and take the wrong ways of living. And the women, when they go astray, the social system will get muddled. And the prescribed duties which the mother had to impart it to the children, or you have to maintain that tradition at home, is not going to be. And when the duties are not performed properly, the result is a chaos. The hell will be the result for everybody, because in that condition of the society, the belief system is, if you don't perform your duty, you will go to hell. You will go to a great suffering. The karma phala is of two types. What you do also gives you a result. What you don't do also gives a result. Like a boy went to his teacher, school, and asked this question: would you punish me for something which I did not do? So he said, definitely not, dear. I will not punish you for a thing which you did not do. I didn't do my homework. Not doing the homework is also a punishable act, right? In the same way, there are certain things we are supposed to do according to the Vedic wisdom, And if you don't do it, that is also punishable. So Arjuna, who is very well rooted in that understanding of Vedic rites and rituals, he said that when we, as warmongers, we forget our main duties and the whole society is going to be destroyed, all the culture and other things destroyed, then there will be a great chaos in the society and everybody will be sinful. And that is the grief which Arjun had. So his main concern is, why should we fight for power, money, wealth, etc.? Second, because of the destruction that is ensuing, there will be a calamity. I mean, there will be a confusion in the tradition, in the culture, especially women will go astray. And when women are, taking to wrong ways of living, there will be a compromise on duties, and then that will lead to hell for everybody. And therefore, it's better not to fight. And now these Arjuna conclusions, we can call it as conclusions. Some of the ideas are coming from second chapter. So what are his conclusions here? Killing people for wealth is sin, especially when they are one's own relatives. Second, king's duty of protecting the society from the enemies is questionable if the enemy is one's own relative. It is better to live by begging for food better than engaging in such a war. How do I kill my own teacher and grandfather who are in the enemy's side while they deserve to be respected by me? I don't want to live further after killing my own relatives for kingdom. I am confused about duty. What will remove my sorrow? I surrender. Please teach me. These are the conclusions of Arjuna. First one is, we have seen, killing one's own people for wealth is a sin. Second is, even if you think that it is a king's duty to protect one's own kingdom or etc., but the enemy in question is one's own brother or uncles or cousins, one should not mindlessly go and kill, even if they are enemies. And since he lived for 13 years away from the kingdom and got used to the living in the forest life with the minimum things, he said that it is better that I continue that kind of a living only. Why should I do anything more? And most importantly, my teacher, who had taught me all the warfare, now standing right in front of me, and I have to take my bow and arrow and aim and kill him. How terrible it will be. How much of ingratitude it will be. How much heartless I can be. They deserve to be respected. And by killing my own people, how will I live in this kingdom in the absence of all of them? So I am very confused about what I am supposed to do. Oh Krishna, I surrender. You have to teach me, how will you remove my sorrow in this situation? Until then, Krishna was listening. He did not say anything. I wanted him to let it out. Because, it's a typical psychiatrist. He wanted to make sure that the patient is, coming out with all his arguments. And then take one by one and try to give answers to it. In fact, he said in one point, you are acting like as though you are a, eunuch means neither a man or a woman. You are physically looking like a man, but your mind is thinking like a very weak person. So, but he continued saying that, no, this is what I feel. And my hand is shaking. My body is collapsing. I'm unable to think. I see bad signs of omens are there everywhere. And I feel that what is coming up is very dangerous to the entire humanity. And I will be setting a wrong precedence. So I don't want to fight. And this is my confusion. What I'm taking as a decision not to fight is right or wrong. That you need to tell me. So now this is the situation where Arjuna has collapsed. So this is the first chapter of Bhagavad-Gita. Now comes the next one, which is the path of knowledge, which is known as Sankhya Yoga. The very word Sankhya in the second chapter, which means Samyak Kyayate, meaning very well explained. And before, if you go to a doctor, your physician, with some issue, some stomach problem or backache, or something which you're suffering for some time, and you try to take some Tylenol and this and that, nothing is happening. So you know that something serious here. So you go to a doctor who is a specialist also, let us say. After checking your reports or analyzing your the conditions of the body, first of all, he will give you a broad perspective of what is going on. Then only he will prescribe medicine, because he wants you to know, why am I giving this medicine, before you start taking the medicine. Correct? And if you are a person who will not understand anything, chalo, ye dua le lo bhai, bas ho gaya. Kya ho raha hai? Sab theek hoga. No, everything will be fine. You just take the medicine, because you are not a person who will understand anyway if I say anything. What you want is immediately a solution. Take this. But Arjuna was not a person who would just accept things without being explained. So Krishna, knowing the nature and the intelligence of Arjuna, he says, okay, let me tell you, I'm going to give you a solution, but before that, I will tell you why I'm going to say this. So the second chapter, it is said as the bird's eye view of what is coming. A broad perspective of the entire teaching of Bhagavad-Gita is given in the second chapter itself. We have many problems in our life. Now, yes, you are as a student, you may not have, or you may not even know. So there are many issues like emotional, intellectual, physical, psychological, social, communal, political, professional. So many different issues will come in our life. But all the problems in our life have one fundamental basis. And what is it? I am unhappy. This is a universal law. I am basically unhappy. So a person, when he or she is unhappy, anything will become an issue. Because I am discontented. I'm incomplete. I'm not feeling fulfilled. I'm not feeling at ease. Therefore, it's like, if you have some backache or stomachache or a headache, even little things will irritate you. Because the problem is not actually outside. Because you are having some nagging pain somewhere and you do not know how to handle it, it doesn't go away. Whatever you did, nothing happened. So somebody doing something which probably you don't like, you don't ignore it, you exaggerate it. This happens to us. So the fundamental issue, Krishna touches upon that first. Fundamental issue with you, Arjuna, is that you don't know who you are. And when you do not know who you are, you identify with something which you are not. And when you identify with something which you are not, obviously you feel a big gap between who you are and who you are not. It is like a rubber band you take, and you pull it. Yeah, you can stretch it, no doubt. But that stretch is a strain to the rubber band. It actually wants to, when you leave it, it comes back to its original state. You take a bowl of water and start boiling it. It comes to a boiling condition at certain degrees of heat. But if you switch off the gas, the source of the heat, it will go back to its original temperature. Because staying away from its own original nature is an unhealthy condition, unwanted condition, disturbing, agitating condition. It wants to get back to its original nature. In the same way, our original nature, according to Vedanta, is Ananda, happiness. But whatever be the reason, when we are away from it, we feel restless. And this restlessness you project upon other things. Oh, this is the reason why I'm unhappy. That is the reason why I'm unhappy. This person makes me unhappy. That person's behavior is unhappy. This person said something today that makes me unhappy. Basically, you are unhappy. And you do not know how to get back to your original condition. So Krishna begins with saying, we have to recognize where our true happiness lies and why we are far away from it. What makes us get into a unnatural, artificial state of mind? And how to get back to our original nature. This is the main subject matter which he deals in every chapter. But in the second chapter, he gives a bird's eye view of that, so that you know what is going to come. It's like, you are given a, what do you call, like, when you want to see a movie, there's a teaser. Not everything is explained. Suddenly you will find this hero is going there and shooting people, and okay, there is an enemy, and then the hero is going to do all these things, and then some dance will be there. And I'm talking about Indian. The dance will be there, some joking will be there. So this a teaser is that which gives you an idea about what all then you can expect of that movie. In the same way, second chapter is like a teaser. Okay, these are all the things going to come. And these are all the main topics that are going to be dealt with. Almost every major topics are given in the second chapter itself, but not in detail. First and foremost topic that we should take up here is eternal versus ephemeral. So what he says is, wisdom is know the eternal and let go of the ephemeral. Worry is inevitable if you hold on to the ephemeral and let go of the eternal. Here, Arjuna started saying, I'm worried. I'm unhappy that this is happening. The war is happening. It's a question of time. We have come to the war field. It's a few hours from now, everything will start. And before everything starts, I just want to make sure that what I'm going to do is the right thing. If it is not the right thing, I'm ready to withdraw from the whole thing. This is my conclusion. So Krishna says, okay, first of all, let us understand what is temporary and what is permanent. As I said, so long as we are attached to that which is temporary, which we are not, in my original nature, I am an eternal being, which I am not able to recognize right now, and I am always identifying myself as so and so, somebody born at some point of time and subject to death at some point of time. Not only me, everybody. So, first of all, wisdom is to know what is eternal and what is ephemeral. That we should clearly see. Now, when you are living in the worldly, during the worldly transaction also, let us say that you are going to buy a shoe for yourself. You go there to the shop, beautiful shoes there placed there. There are two factors that are important to you. One is the cost. What's the price of that, which you can afford or not? That is one thing. Second is, for the price that you pay, will it last long? Isn't it? Let us say that it costs $100. I'm just giving you an idea. $100 I'm paying. What do you ask is, what is a warranty? Huh? You'll say, sir, you have a lifetime warranty for this. Kiska life? Even ask the next question. Whose life? My life? It will last forever. I am only 35, let us say. And this shoe I am buying, will it stay for next 60 years? Lifetime warranty is what? For the material that is used. And the material that is used has certain amount of guarantee. That's all you can say. You cannot say, okay, forever it will live. No, you cannot say that. Obviously not. Oh, I'm paying $100 for it. Whatever money you pay, you cannot buy eternality. Even for your body, you cannot buy eternality forever. No doctor will guarantee that you will live forever. Can they? How much over medicine you take, how much over treatment you do, how much over exercise. So eternality, therefore, is not a purchasable thing. Secondly, it is not objectifiable at all. You cannot objectify eternality. It is not possible. Because we are standing on the platform of matter, we can never understand the eternal nature of anything. Forever. You know, in many of the stories, and then they lived happily forever. What do you mean? So, eternality presently starts as a concept. Please understand, it is not a concept, but it starts as a concept. It is a reality, not a concept. But yet, presently we cannot comprehend that. We are incapable of comprehending the nature of eternality. Timeless, spaceless, endless, ageless, beginningless. How long you can think about it? How much you can think about it? So therefore, they always keep a God's form as saying that is a representative of this eternal. So, that which is not caused by anything, that which does not cause anything, unchanging is the eternal nature. So, we should recognize that there is something called eternal presence, and everything else is ephemeral. Everything else is temporary. In whatever degree of, whatever time, whatever degree, whatever quality it has, it is. Everything other than that is temporary. For eternality cannot be two. It has to be only one. It has to be one. Think about it. Eternality cannot be two. Because when you say timeless, endless, beginningless, how can there be two? What makes it two? What makes the other one different from this? One is eternal. Another is what? That is also eternal. It cannot be there. Why? Because the very fact that it is an eternal, it cannot have another second which having a different quality, which itself makes it not eternal. So, that is the reason it is a reflection upon the Upanishad. Upanishad says very clearly that Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Anantam means endless. Satyam means ever existing. Jnanam means ever conscious. So, ever existing, ever conscious, endless is only one. And anything other than that, what it will become? Asatyam only. If it is not Satyam, what is it? Asatyam. If it is Jnanam, then it is Jadam. And if it is Anant, it is not Anantam, it is then Antam. It is only Antam. It is only having some end. So it cannot be anything else. There is only one. All right. But this, when we don't recognize the possibility of this eternality and we hold on to what is ephemeral, temporary, then worry is unavoidable. Why? Because of the very fact it will change. Only that which is changeless is eternal, that is endless. Anything else is subject to change, and the change brings about uncertainty, unhappiness, all other challenges as well. So this is the first thing he says. Arjuna, understand this. Arjuna wonders, it is nothing to do with whether should I fight or not. What are you? I asked you one thing and you are saying something else. Wait. I'll tell you. So first understand the problem of humankind, not only you, Arjuna, the human in general. The problem is they hold on to temporary things and expect eternality in that, which is totally against the logic. That which is changing cannot be eternal. Only changeless thing can be eternal. All right? Yes, fine, very good. Again, every relationship that you have in this world will create some prejudice in the form of likes and dislikes. And unless you let go the partiality in all aspects of your life, you will never be able to find happiness. Because the nature of the mind is always to judge. Mind and intellect equipment is meant for constantly judging things. That is its nature. You cannot stop it. Let us say if you are eating food in a restaurant and your friend has taken you there. First time he wants to take you to a new restaurant and then make you eat. What will he ask? Hey, did you like the food? You need to see, I am non-judgmental. You see, I don't judge things. So he said, okay, so would you like to come back again or not? Non-judgmental. I'm asking you a simple question. Do you like it or not? What is the big deal about it? See, in the world of transaction, you have to definitely say, this I like, this I don't like. This I want, this I don't want. This I prefer, this I don't prefer. You cannot help it. Yes. So any relation with the world will necessarily bring in likes and dislikes. All right. Now, Krishna says, no doubt the mind creates this raga dvesha, likes and dislikes. But the only thing is, you don't be dictated by that. You have to judge. You cannot stop judging. You may not be going by your judgment. Let those judgment of yours, likes and dislikes, may not dictate your life. If you become very strong about your prejudices, your own judgments, it will be hard to live with people. I'm telling you. Even with another person, maybe a wife or a husband or a friend, you may have difference of opinion. You may have a liking for something, you may not have. You may dislike something and the other person may like it. Okay, that is you. This is me. Everybody has get their opinion. And based upon that opinion of his or hers, which is not like yours, you start judging that person. Oh, that person is bad. Why? Because he doesn't like what I like. So this is what we are now, right? Presently, we have this problem. So you may judge likes and dislikes, but let those judgments don't allow them to dictate terms to you. Arjuna still wonders, what has it got to do with my war? I'm coming to that. Wait. I'll bring that logic there one by one. All right. So first teaching is find out what is eternal. And even if you do not know, obviously you do not know what it is, but know that there is one which is beyond time and beyond space and objectivity. That is there. And everything else is subject to change, subject to perishing at some point of time. Secondly, in the worldly transactions, when you come across with situations and people and experiences, there will be definitely a part of you judging situations as good, bad, right, wrong, likes, dislikes. Or good, you cannot help it. But be aware or be firm in not getting succumbed to doing things based upon those prejudices. All right. Next one is, I don't know what time is it right now. Right now? It's not over. 10 minutes. So, next one is that which is apparent cannot truly exist. That which is real can never perish. Choose wisely to overcome sorrow. This is another very, very important teaching from Gita we see in second chapter. Just because your sense organs reporting something does not mean it is real. Just because your sense organs do not report something, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. If there is a right in the middle of your back, on your back, there is a birthmark, let us say you have. Have you ever seen it by your eyes? Directly. Oh no, I'll take a selfie from this and then take a picture of it and then that may be a picture. But have you seen with your own eyes a birthmark which is there right on the back of your right smack back center? There. Have you seen? No, therefore it doesn't exist. Can you come to that conclusion? Just because you don't see it, it doesn't exist. There are so many stars and galaxies that are there in the system. You've never seen. Doesn't exist. If I am talking to you, I have certain thoughts in my mind. And you have certain thoughts in my mind. I don't know what your thinking thoughts are. You don't know what my thoughts are unless I express it. Doesn't mean that I don't have thoughts because you don't know it. Or because I don't see it and therefore you don't have the thoughts. Can I come to that conclusion? So, seeing is believing. This is the way of the science. Whereas Vedanta says believing is seeing. If you believe, you will definitely see it. Even science has come to see, any science begins with certain amount of propositions, or what do you call that as hypothesis. Without hypothesis, a scientist doesn't proceed. He will hypothetically feel that, okay, this is possible. Let me find it out. Without the hypothesis, he will not take the next step. He cannot blindly go somewhere. He has to have some inkling about possibility. Then only he will proceed. In the same way, Vedanta says, there exists the reality which is not available for your sense organs to comprehend. And at the same time, whatever you comprehend or see through the eyes, not necessarily is only truth. Well, science proceeded in that direction only, and that's so they were able to find out the reality of things. Sunrise taking place that we all enjoyed, and we taken a photograph and painted all those things, wrote poetry, everything, all right. But sun doesn't rise. When science says that they killed him. Scientists who have very lofty understanding in the past, since it is not said in a particular scripture, it's against the religious declarations, as apparently, and they hang him. They give snakes, what you call these, poison, and killed these. Why? Because they are saying things which are not written there. What a tragedy. So, what is merely seen by the senses, it need not necessarily be true. What is not seen, not necessarily not there. And that which is real, which cannot be perceived by the senses or anything, never perishes. It is of the nature of, I guess, as I said earlier, timelessness, eternality. So, the sorrow in our life is because we take it for granted only those which are perceived as true. That is the cause of another sorrow. Like, for example, most of us judge others based upon how they are appearing to us. What is going there in their mind, why they are behaving in a particular, we don't know. Let us say that you are walking into an aircraft, you are for a flight, and the attendant there, the flight attendant, welcome, we are so happy. You think that she is really happy about you going there? Or have to serve these people also the whole next to 4 or 5 hours. The smile does not mean that they are actually happy about you. It may think that you're smiling. Oh, they're smiling, so they must be very happy about me. Not necessary. Somebody who does not even look at you does not mean that he hates you or she hates you. This is a fast judgment we come to because we go only by what sense organs report to us. So go beyond that. Find out what is real, what is true. Don't just come to a fast judgment about things just because a thing is appearing to be in a particular condition. Therefore, it is true. That is not right. And something which is not appearing to be seen at all, that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And what really is, even though imperceptible, is a true, real, eternal existence. And what appears to be seen or perceived, necessarily not ever existing. It is subject to change. So choose the right thing to overcome sorrow. Again, Arjuna is wondering, what is it got to do with my war now? Okay. Now, next point to which Krishna makes it here is, ephemeral matter depends upon the internal spirit for its survival. By science also it is proven that matter cannot exist by itself without the presence of a living conscious being. Now, this is a kind of controversial discussion can be. One can say, oh, matter exists even if there is no living being to know it. The spirit or the consciousness or living presence is what is referred here as a spirit, eternal presence. And ephemeral is a matter which is subject to change and perishing, etc. So let us say that a person is alive and kicking and moving about, talking about this and that. So you say that this person exists, right? And one day that person dies. You see the body of the person. It is still the same as what he was yesterday also. But people say he's gone. Now you wonder, he's there, no? I see him. Yeah, but he's gone. Who's gone? Who is gone? Body is there. Yeah, body is there, but he is not there. Now this is what happened to Sri Ramana Maharshi also. I can see him, yes, but he is not there. I'm seeing a person and who is not there? One, what was making him alive is no more. If you open the body, brain is there, heart is there, lungs are there, all other parts of the body are, everything is there, but he's not there. What happened to them? Who's not there? The one for whom all these things were. Now, please understand, this is a very important point which you need to remember. All these things are for him and not the other way around. We think at the present moment, heart, brain, lungs, various kidneys, spleen, so many, all the various things that are there in our body, we are for them. Paradigm shift should take place in your mind. They are not for me. Sorry, I am not for them. They are for me. And I can quit anytime. They will be still there. For useless, totally useless. If I quit. What is this body is used for? If I am not there, what is this body? So it is I who is present in this body. In Krishna calls it as Dehin. Dehin means embodied, meaning for whom all these things are, that if he is not there, none of them will exist. Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yavvanam jara tada dehantara praptihi. Very, very strong statement. So when you see physical body depends upon the spirit's existence. If that spirit, the living presence is not there, body may be there and it will become perishable matter right then onwards. Moment that exit of the soul takes place, body cannot survive for even a moment, even a microsecond it cannot survive. It will start perishing right away. So, understand, ephemeral matter depends upon eternal spirit for its survival. The moment the spirit departs, matter perishes right then and there. Now, next point he says is, destruction of the ephemeral is unavoidable. Destruction of the eternal is impossible. Find out what is eternally new and what is ephemeral. So, destruction of the ephemeral is unavoidable. It happens. You are strong and bubbling and then very active and all right. As you age, as you start becoming older and older, physical matter will start showing the signs of decay, decline. You cannot avoid that. Nobody can. A great man of wisdom, a great philosopher, a great devotee, anybody who had come here into this world to explain things, even if the person is the greatest scientist, the greatest politician, greatest sports personality, greatest actor, greatest artist, greatest poet, greatest philosopher, whatever it be, everybody has to go to the same thing. If they recognize that this matter which I am holding on to it as my body is perishable. But if they have also recognized that I have the eternality in me, the immortal presence in me, that is indestructible. If that awareness and wisdom has come, then such a person, even while living, he will not be unhappy about body getting old and perishing. If the person does not know it, every moment is a sorrow. Gray hair. Everything, every sign of age is an issue. So, again, Arjuna wonders, has it got anything to do with what I am going through now, right now? Okay. So, we will see more of it. But think about it, these ideas, and we will see more of it. Further teachings from second chapter in the next class. I think in the next class you have a discussion next week. So the following week, we will have the class again, this presentation. Meanwhile, you can take these ideas. I will put it on the web as well, this talk, so that you can go through this once again. And based upon this, you can have the discussion. Any questions at this point? Anybody?
Swamiji, one thing I was thinking when Swamiji mentioned about eternal versus ephemeral and seeing eternal in ephemeral.
Yeah.
So Swamiji, my question was, is it a conscious practice? If yes, then how to practice?
At any given situation, we must recognize that anything that we can value so much in our life is only temporary. Whether it is one's physical health, or name and fame and position and power, or any kind of achievement, accomplishment, success, even failure. So all these things are, they are transactionally, they are, something which I am proud of or I am unhappy about, whatever. But you must have the ability to bring the thought into your mind, even this will pass away. This is also not true. It is there. I enjoy it. Right, day is there. When you opening of the day, beginning of the day, beautiful day has begun. It will end. If you say morning 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock, so beautiful morning has begun, 5 o'clock, right. But in 18 hours or so, it will not be there. So that doesn't mean to be cynical and unhappy about it. No, it will end. But whatever I can do best within this time, between morning 5 to evening 7 or whatever, let me do my best to the world, knowing its temporariness. Doesn't mean that, okay, anyway, everything comes to an end. Why should I do anything? Not like that. So being aware of the temporariness of everything will make you not to get disappointed when it comes to an end, not to become overexcited when it is not there anymore, and not to put too much importance to that in your life. If one wants to really be happy, know its impermanence.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, we'll conclude here. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkhabhat bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
Hari Om, Swamiji.
Harihi Om.